All right, so for the purposes of this demonstration, I picked up a column that actually has nothing in it. You can see there's a little white disc in there, and that disc really is to keep any sort of stationary phase in the column. But I don't really have a stationary phase in here. What I really want to do with this is just demonstrate and illustrate for you what to expect when it comes to column chromatography. So what I'm going to do is get a little bit of the sample that y'all will be using in order to try to purify your lactate dehydrogenase. What I'm going to be using throughout this purification is I'm going to be using transfer pipettes. What's important to know about a transfer pipette is the markings on the side. 0.5 milliliter, 1 milliliter, 1.5, 2.5, 3, or 1.52, 2.53, anything above here is 3 milliliters. So if I need about 1.5 milliliters of this, my protein extract, I'm going to adjust the bulb down or press the bulb down and wait until I get to right about there. I don't need exactly 1.5 milliliters, but roughly 1.5 milliliters. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this transfer pipette and insert it to the side of my column and very, very gradually and slowly add this solution to my column. When I'm adding it to my solution, I've actually kind of got my hand at an angle so that as I depress down on the bulb, the solution exiting this column, exiting my transfer pipette, is hitting the interior of the column and just kind of sliding down the interior of the column until it actually, accumulates on top of the stationary phase. Like I said, in this column, I don't have a stationary phase. So whenever I take this cap off, the solution is going to empty out very, very quickly. What you need to be aware of, and what I need to be aware of in this case, is I need to be ready with the buffer that I'm going to use to wash away any of the solution, or to rinse away proteins that do not adhere to my stationary phase. So I'll take my cap off, and in this case, there's actually, everything's all dried out, so it's going to be added very, very slowly. But in time, I'll use a little bit of back pressure, so I'll put my thumb over the cap and, oh, there, now it's going very, very fast. I don't want, and you don't want to let your stationary phase run dry. So when my solution is just above where my stationary phase is, I'm gonna add a little bit more buffer. Okay, so this is what's happening on the top half of this. And that's really important to be aware of and to be ready with your column. But then on the other half, we're not just letting things run through this column for sport. So, oh yeah, it just empties out, the end. Instead, we want to collect 1 milliliter fractions of what comes off of this column. So I was just illustrating for y'all here how to basically add a solution and make sure that your resin bed or your stationary phase remains dry. What you're going to do after that, I'll catch up in the next video.